Pucci Upholstery. Spend the day in my workroom with me as I make a Super King headboard. This was a custom shape and we used a Sanderson fabric for it with contrast piping. I will write what fabric was used in the description and at the end of the video. I'm going to talk about how to use backtack, why I use it. I also do a little rejig of my workroom. You can see it looks a lot less beige than in my last videos. Why we cut piping on the bias, because a lot of people have been asking me about that. Also, check my new music. This was a custom theme wrote for me by my auntie, so I'm really happy and excited to use it for the first time. I think it's a goodie. Hope you like it.
Okay, I think the first thing I need to do today is try and sort this background out a little bit. This house is going to be renovated in a few months. There's no real point in completely redoing everything. And I'm not going to do anything that special. I'm just going to hang it from there. I'm only leaving a gap here for my pin board, so I'll just hang another piece of fabric up. I feel like that's better than the beige, isn't it? I get pancakes and frothy coffee just delivered to me. It's quite nice being here. Love this new workroom. It's really cool. I'll give you a tour. So here's my sewing table. These are my gorge curtains. That's just a cute cupboard. This is my shelf. So there's my broken lamp. That's a Pucci lamp that my sister's just left in my room. Supplies that I use all the time. So like glue gun, measuring tape, electric knife, staples, random bits, glue and stuff. Here's my pin board of bits that I have to do. And then here's my admin desk. And then I just keep piping. And then all my tools are in this cool little thing. Stuff like that. That's upholstery stuff that I don't use that often. So like my sewing machine oil, tacks I don't really use that much. Ply grip I don't use that much. Unless I'm doing reupholstery, and decorative studs are in there. So this is a custom shape one, and it has a little, it's a Super King, but then it has a little titty on the side. So I need to make sure that there's enough overhang on the foam that I can foam the titty. Oh my goodness. Sultan's Garden by Sanderson. It's hard to know how to position this fabric actually. There's a nice line here, which would be quite cool to have kind of running straight at the bottom. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I've just put pins in along my straight line and just gonna cut that. So I need to figure out where I need to cut my pattern match. About there-ish. Again, it's a big pattern. This is for the same girl who ordered that amazing blue footstool that I posted probably 2 videos ago. Same person, so she has unreal taste in fabric. So I need to cut it from there-ish. I like to just give myself enough to pull, so I'll probably just cut it the edge of the elephant. What's nice and bad about this pattern, I'll show you when I'm sewing it, but there's only going to be this one section here is going to be visibly pattern matched. Everything else is just of kind of a cream border, and so if I go a bit askew, you won't be able to tell. But I don't like that, because I like to know that I'm not going askew, and it's so easy to sew it slightly askew. So I quite like having loads of bits to match to make sure that I'm not going wrong at any point. Use this edge of my foam as my straight line. I want to make sure, and I've got no reference points, I want to make sure that I'm constantly running in a straight direction. Small section here to match. Everything else is a plain colour, and so I have to make sure that everything is running straight. I'm going to use the centre of one of these flowers, the centre of that dot, as my reference point, and fold over the same width. I've got my one vague reference point here, so I'm going to pin that in place. I'm actually going to start sewing it from there, just because I know that these are in the right position, and then once I'm happy that that's all matched up okay, then I'll just come back and resew it. Just because if I've got this tension even vaguely wrong over here where I've pulled it, if that's even slightly out, then it's going to throw my one tiny section of pattern out, and then just come back to this later. I don't want to rely on this because I have no reference point to base that on. So I'll take that to the sewing machine. Holding that in the right position, okay. Nice. So I haven't sewn this top bit yet, but that all looks okay. All good. Right, happy with that tension. It's nice because we've got like an elephant there, the bird's nest, the deer's kind of, and the trees are growing from there. That all feels nice. Okay, so there's quite a sharp angle here, so I need to get quite a good pull there, and then I'll need to release some tension to get around that corner. When you're doing a brand new shape, it's always hard knowing exactly what you need to do around each curve. But then I've got a similar thing like this in the sky headboard. Okay. So then I'm going to relief cut into that corner, not going past the staple I've already done. There, nice. Then I can just pull down there. Cool. Now I can release my temporaries and just continue as normal. pillow stop, I need to cut 12 inches by 78. My border needs to be 5 inches, 140. So be like that. And obviously it will just be this kind of up to there will match, and once you go past that, nothing else is going to match. I've made a TikTok about this ages ago, but I'll just explain it again because people have asked me why I cut piping on the bias. I will show you why. Especially for something that has so many curves like this one does, it's really important too. And I know it feels like it's such a waste of fabric, but it's important too. So, a piece of fabric, this is cut on the bias, and it has stretch in it. Fabric only has stretch on the bias, okay? So that is stretching. And that means that when I'm making my piping and bringing it round corners, say if you're sewing a cushion with piping, or if you're going around those lovely corners on headboards, it has the stretch to do that without puckering. Fabric has no stretch horizontally or vertically. This is trying to stretch it horizontally, no stretch at all. This is trying to stretch it there, no stretch at all. Lots of stretch on the bias. So if I was to just make piping straight like that, it would be fine. And I do it sometimes when needed, like if I don't have enough fabric, or if I need to use the selvage. Sometimes if I have like a pattern and the selvage is plain, then sometimes you can use the selvage to use the piping so that it's the same tones. So it's not like not allowed to do it, but it's just, especially when you're going around curves, it's so much better to cut it on the bias. On the bias means at an angle, I think it means at a 45-degree angle, but I typically don't do it. I do it at like a 30-ish degree angle generally, because I don't like wasting loads of fabric. That was pretty much 45 degree because I just had a whole metre of fabric to make my piping, so I had enough to do a big angle there. That's going to go there. Okay, here's my backtack strip, which I'm going to use to attach the border so that I get a flush finish without seeing any staples. And my backtack strip is going to sit flush right on my stitch line of the piping. And then check. So obviously this border panel is a straight piece of fabric. So I've managed to pattern match from this to there. But then because this is a straight piece of fabric, so this is carrying this pattern on, but obviously this is a curve, and so this pattern is carrying on there. Because I've put a few staples into here, this is just in position, and I can just go ahead and staple this on. When you have a really sharp corner like that, you just get a really good pull on it, and then I just kind of hammer it into place because it's a very unnatural direction for your fabric to fall in. So sometimes it just needs a little bit of persuading. So as I did with the border, I'm just getting it into position first. Pucci. And it's done. That match came out really nice up there. Love this shape. There's so many nice parts to this fabric. It's got like a heron there, some chicks there, cute palm tree, cute house, elephant. I love the colours on that orange bit. It's really pretty. Storytelling piece, it's lovely. And the contrast piping worked really well. Taking the charcoal colour from there, I think that was such a nice choice. I love it. Really effective and such a cool shape. I like the little sticky outy bit at the end. And then I love the sharp curve there. I just think it works, the proportion works really nicely.